come to find out that Star Seraph engine, well, that's not alliteration. It's not as good as some people had thought it was. I did say in a previous video that you should expect people to be playing the Star Seraph engine, Scepter and Sovereignty, but I never actually gave you my opinion on it. Guess what this video is about? This engine consists of 6 cards, 3 Scepter, 3 Sovereignty. If you draw the Scepter and you drew all your Sovereignty, what the fuck does the Scepter do? I know Scepter have the secondary effect when it's used for material, for sees monster 3 or more materials. I get that, but you're playing the card to search, right? Now, what if you draw the cards that you want to search? And it ain't like you've got a plethora of options if you're only using the engine. To me, that effectively makes your deck worse. If you're going to play it in Shaddolls, and you don't even bother to accommodate your newly found friends, you just play a Shaddol deck, and you just throw in Sovereignty and Scepter. What the fuck for? In the OCG, I ain't going to say it's everybody that played the OCG because they'd be giving them motherfuckers too much credit, but you saw decks, primarily Shaddolls. They would have at least something to take advantage of what Scepter and Sovereignty could do. You would see things maybe like a Call of the Haunted or something. They was already playing the Foolish for Shaddolls, but that was a thing. And also you saw some of them play Summoner Monk to summon the Scepter. So I'm not saying that it's the best idea in the world, but at that time, I guess that was one of the best things you could be doing, even running the risk of just blanking, but you had the ability to summon the Scepter out of the deck. You had a way to access the Scepter besides naturally drawing this shit. You don't necessarily see that shit in the TCG, but in the OCG, it happens so fucking often to the point where Sovereignty eventually got limited. Sovereignty is only something that can be searched off a Scepter. It does nothing by itself. And on top of that, it has that restriction. You can't use it for an exceeds monster except one with 3 or more materials. That just makes the shit worse. I know it has 2,000 defense. It's a fucking chair. It should have some defense on it. But I just think it's much more trouble than it's worth. When the shit came out, I can imagine that people was getting the shit because, hey, I'm going to just try to see what happened. I'm pretty sure they didn't really bother to accommodate their newly found friends. They just threw the shit in there. Tellarknights, for example. That shit don't seem that good now because the shit in Tellarknights that does somewhat help with the Scepter Sovereignty thing, the shit's just way too inconsistent. You rather have that small number of Tellarknights and you have your Rhodas and shit. Sure, you got Call of the Haunted. Sure, you can make Laval Velchain to send the Scepter then revive it, but you rather use the Call of the Haunted on the Tellarknight. It's too much work. Not really. But it just seems like more work than people are willing to go for. And maybe Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are getting smarter. No, that can't be it. This engine is a shitty one. Even if you are playing cards to accommodate your newfound friends, why in the hell are you putting shit in that's effectively making your deck worse? If you're not playing stuff natively in the deck before you threw the Star Seraphs in, why would you put them in just to make use of these things? But it still runs the same risk of you running out of sovereignties and your Scepter's useless. If you really want to play Star Seraphs that much, just play a pure version of it. I don't know if there's like a real good one right now, but you can make it. There are enough Star Seraphs. At the very least, it might not be good, it might not be fast or any of that shit, but you won't run out of targets as often. So on that note, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I appreciate it. If you would like to support me in some form or fashion, all I ask is you spend literally seconds out of your day and click an advertisement. I'd be grateful, appreciative, and I'll say thank you very much in advance. You can find some time to do that. Side note, why is Sovereignty more money than Scepter? Is Sovereignty harder to get out of the packs than Scepter is? I don't know. I didn't buy no boxes and no packs. Isn't that shit like $20? And the engine fucking sucks.